Yo, what it do, YouTube? It is your boy, Mike, aka the Crypto Negus. I'm back again with some VV talk. Been away for a few days, been a little slow going in the VV community. I don't like repeating content that you guys see out there. So, I'm not just going to give you videos, multiple times a day just to do it, just because, I do want to give you something that you might not have listened to or heard already throughout the community. So again, real quick, I just wanted to drop some of my thoughts about something that I've been thinking about for a while. And if you guys think the same thing or you have different opinions, please drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. All right. But anyway, let's talk about these comic books. I believe the comic books need more love, man, especially, within this app. Here goes some of my comics. I got 135 comics compared to 49 collectibles. I have a pretty modest collection, even though I think what combination of my collectibles put me in like the top 3% of users on the app. But anyway, here we go. We got some of the comic books here that you can see that I have in my collection. But again, I believe the comic books need a lot of more attention. The reason why I think this is because I feel like comic books, without the comic books or whatever, or without Marvel comics coming, you could say even with Disney coming or whatever, when it did, I don't believe that we have the same amount of users that we have today. When I'm on the Reddit, when I'm on Twitter, when I'm in the Facebook group, I see a lot of users literally saying that they are here because of the comics. They came around the time period that comic books came onto the app. And then they started to, look up things, and that's what got them onto, Veve. Also, too, in my time period of being on Veve and everything, let's see here, proof in the pudding, is that I've been around since February 16, 2021. So it's something that I'm using. Something I do within my regular crypto research is see how many content creators it is. Okay. My personal strategy when it comes to investing into certain cryptos is that I personally like to get into cryptos, or I know that I'm early, is when there's no YouTube videos on it. You don't see many YouTube videos. I was able to buy my first bag of Omi at 0.0005. What did I say? 3 zeros, but anyway, 3 zeros and 5. As you see, February 16, 2021, a lot of your favorite YouTubers came after that date. But so what I can say is that when I first, discovered Veve and I was on Veve, one of the first YouTubers I did see was like Everything Currency and like Blockchain Andy. And I think Crypto Rain was one of the first ones as well. But none of them are solely dedicated. Their channels are not dedicated to Veve content. They talk about crypto in general. Okay. So now that we have so many YouTubers now that's covering Veve, they dedicated their channels to Veve, which is awesome, which is great, is that I've noticed something. Okay. Is that I noticed that there's a lot more, even though we got tons of YouTubers, right? We have tons of YouTubers. We got your Cavell Andersons. We got VVN3. We have you got Veve Vault. You got Tap Trays. You got I forget. Oh, Kyle. What is his last name? I want to say Anderson for some reason, but I don't think it's Anderson. Just thinking like Neo from the Matrix right now for some reason. But anyway, we have all these YouTubers, guys. Okay, out of the ones who dedicate themselves within Veve to a certain thing or whatever, we've had more do this for comics. Okay, we see comics in crypto and what they do and they bring to the community. We appreciate them with their hodl and sell videos. You got Sleepy in Comics and what he's dedicated and done to community. He's even created a website up for his rankings and things go. We got TMI. TMI is a pretty big YouTuber, large YouTuber, probably the largest that we have to cover us to this date, outside of probably Andre Jinx or whatever, but he doesn't necessarily cover us. He only did it like 1 or 2 times. TMI, when he covers us, he really speaks about the comic books or whatever. And you have My Collectibles. My Collectibles is a great guy, great energy. Everybody loves him, but he's a comic book guy. He's a comic book guy and he's a collector as well. But I kind of feel like he's into the collecting because of the comics. The comics is into the collecting, and the collectibles that he collects are normally kind of comic book characters. But then you got Marvelous Pack. Marvelous Pack is a comic book guy. I like his thoughts that he shares on comics. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. He's fairly new to the community. This is the Comic Way. I don't know if he's still around, but he used to be around. He used to give us some good input and stuff like that. He kind of messed up kind of pumping the Hit Monkey comic book, creating the whole group and everything like that. But anyway, that's something else. had Voodoo NFT. I don't know if Voodoo NFT is still necessarily active, but Voodoo NFT was creating, a hierarchy list, a chart, and everything of the comic books, and ranking them. And you got White Lash. White Lash is pretty much a VV well. He's been around longer than me, if not just longer as me, but probably longer than me. One of the few, I'll say. And he is, when you listen to him, he's a comic book fan. He's a comic book collector himself in the real world. And then one that I don't have here is a new one. I believe his name is Giant Size Comics. He recently kind of made waves because he was talking about selling some of his pretty valuable physicals to get digital. I mean, he's a pretty younger guy, so I think that he can see the easy transition from physical to digital. And me judging by his age or whatever, it's like most of the comic books that he pretty much only had them because he's been told that they're valuable. I mean, it wasn't something that dropped in his lifetime or my lifetime or a lot of our lifetimes, because a lot of these comic books are pretty old. But anyway, as far as a channel like just dedicated to a certain collectible or entity other than comic books on the app, is that I have to give it to VV Magic. That's the only one that I've noticed, and she is dedicated necessarily to Disney. She is a huge Disney fan and a Disney collector. Now, if I miss something or anyone that falls into these two charts or categories, please let me know. Or if there's someone that's out there, say, that's dedicated to, say, the DC collectibles, or if there's a YouTube channel that's out there that's dedicated to the VV Indie collectibles, let me know. But I have not seen those things. All I've seen is things come along to dedicate themselves to VV Comics. So that's a part of the things that I'm using to say that VV need to pay more attention to the comic books. They need to bring us more. So with bringing us more, they need to bring us what they once said that they're going to do, and that is a showroom update. We need that showroom update soon, okay? Sooner than just your normal VV soon, okay? In that showroom, it would be awesome to be able to display digital slabs. One thing that comics and crypto have done, and I see them doing, is that they offer digital slabs. But that digital slab, when you see it, it's all just a 2D image. It's just things right there. But VV, if they can create an actual augmented reality 3-dimensional rendering of a digital slab where we can have our comic books in it, and maybe it can be a slight animation, when you're opening it up to where the comic book maybe go into the slab, would be pretty cool. And then when you go into the showroom, your showroom is not just that, you're doing your comic books as if they're posters and turning all of them into poster art, but they're actually like digital slabs, and it's pretty much almost the same as, say, if in the physical, how you see people displaying their high-end comics or their rare comics. They have them in slabs and they have those hanging up on their walls. We'd be able to do the same thing in augmented reality, possibly one day when we're able to ping certain things in our home, the same with the art and the other collectibles and everything. You do the same thing with your digital slabs. Just like the physical, but instead of it's physically there, people tap in through their cell phone or whatever the AR wearable is. If it's goggles or glasses or whatever it is, that they're able to, when they come to your home, they're able to see these things on your wall. Okay, another thing is, another catalyst, I believe we can get another company, another comic book company, whether it's DC Comics. DC Comics, obviously, would be the biggest thing that we can get to this app to really take us off within that, especially the comic, area within the app. DC Comics, of course, we already know there's plenty of comic books within DC Comics that are just, going for crazy amounts of numbers, especially what is the Action Comics one that's like the first appearance of Superman. But some other ones that might not be known that much is Dark Horse Comics, you got Image Comics, and you got Valiant Comics. Now, to comic book fans, I believe if we had all of these other comic books as well, it would solidify us it would solidify VV as a comic book collectible app. Right now, it's just Marvel. Okay, we want to come there for Marvel. All right, cool. But what is it about this all comic books? If I'm into all of the comics, can I only have Marvel comic books in the NFT form? I do know that there's other comic books. I believe it's I think Terra Virtua does have, is either Dark Horse or Image or Valiant. I forget which one, but I actually got some comic books over there. But either way, though, that doesn't mean that VV cannot have it, because we know that IP licenses or whatever, they go to multiple people at the same time. So that doesn't matter. It can easily come over to VV, and that's something that we need, all right? So again, man, I just wanted to come in real quick, give some of my thoughts about what it is that I'm thinking about the comic books and everything like that. I think that we do need, I think the comic books have been a pretty big catalyst, probably the biggest catalyst so far on the app. it has brought so many people onto the app. When I'm on the Facebook group, when I'm on Twitter pages, and I'm in the Reddit, I see a lot of people saying that they are here due to the comics. They love the comics. When I see people sharing their they're sharing their profile, or you visit different profiles, majority of people have way more comics than they do collectibles. Of course, the comics are cheaper to buy. You know, now these days, collectibles, there's a lot of collectibles that are a lot cheaper than some of these comics these days, especially when you're talking to UR and the SR. So, but people are still showing that comic books they believe in more. You know, I mean, there's multiple reasons for that, because it's a lot easier to compare to the physical world. And also, too, is that, like I said, there's more people here for the comics. So, of course, you got more people stacking up these comic books. All right. So, this is your boy, man. I'm out. Y'all take it easy. Take care. Be blessed and be great today.